Jane Thornback from Construction Products Association, but I did do an ecology degree in California in the 70s. You're very able to move between understanding of systems, between agricultural systems, living systems, building systems, atmospheric systems. And I don't know if this question makes sense. I just wondered if the explosion of information today, and maybe the need for people to specialize, makes them less able to look at the world in a systems way across all of these different things, or whether you think it enhances them to think in that way.
That's a great question. Well, that reminds me, let me remember your question, but before I get there, let me tell a story. It's my favorite story. Early 70s, Gregory Bateson, Margaret Mead's husband, wrote a book called Mind and Nature. And he was studying the idea of cybernetics that Norbert Wiener brought up at MIT. And this is while we're still punching holes in cardboard called IBM computer. Right? So this is long before the PC. I mean, this is early days. And so he's in the book, and he's telling his daughter a story, and he's in the future, and he's sitting in front of a computer, and he's saying, "So tell me, computer, when do you think computers will begin to think like humans?" And there's a long pause, and the computer goes, that reminds me of a story. So that reminds me of a story. When I became dean at University of Virginia, I'm sitting in front of the faculty and the students, and I had 650 students and 60 faculty, so it's like this. And I'm the dean. And I'm not coming from academia. I'm private practice in New York. And I'd done some teaching at Yale and Harvard and so on, but here I am, the dean all of a sudden. Out of nowhere, tenured, full professor, the dean. And so one of the professors goes, "Here's my question. You're obviously an interdisciplinarian. You could never be tenured if you came up through academia, because you wouldn't be peer reviewable." Interesting. And that's why I was excited about Nature publishing my article, because they said, "We're not going to peer review this. It's a new language, And like all my scientist friends are freaking out, like, "We're all trying to get into Nature, and like you just write this thing and they publish it." It was like, and I remember they said, "So are you expecting us all to learn everything? These students here, they don't know where to put the toilet on the plan, and they can't draw, and you're going to talk about zoology or something, So what do you expect these students to do?" And I said, well, that's really a great question, because the question is now not that we have to become interdisciplinarians per se. I think we have to become multi-disciplinarians. I think we work in bigger teams now. We always work in teams. And you have to know that you need a zoologist. That's what you have to know. That you're going to need all this. You don't have to know it. See, I'm like a total amateur all the time. I'm just like a child. I just play. I just think, is this pretty? Is this beautiful? Does it make me happy? Can I sing a song to my kids about it? All right, I'm okay. And I don't know, I get licensed to practice. So that's why we call this practice, right? Well, the practice of architecture. It's like when everybody says, well, that's not very professional. I know, that's why we call it a practice. So, it's what we do, we practice. So I think that's what we can do now. We can see the whole systems, we can see them better, and we can see the connections. And we can get access to so much information so fast. And watching the AI, has anybody worked with AI yet directly? If you have that kind of power of computing, it'll blow your mind. I went to meet with an AI company because I want to see what this all means to us. And I went to a company, and I got there because I'm good friends with some people who could get me in the door. And I get there, and these business people are sitting there. We're in San Francisco, and they're the most dramatic AI company, according to the head of Google and Elon Musk, which is a good reference. And so I go in, and they go, "Okay, we're talking to you only because you've got a good reference. So what do you want to know?" And I said, "Well, how's business?" And they go, well, we don't really do business anymore. I said, you're out of business? Yeah, well, we don't have any more customers. We don't have any more customers. Really? Yeah, customers are a real pain. The AI can run itself. Here it comes. If you think about the history of this, the manufacturing, the term manufacturing, if you look at the etymology, it means execute by hand. All right? So the first manufacturing is weaving, making bricks, laying bricks, manufacturing. Manufacturing. Right? And then knotting, weaving, hands. And then we got Manchester and its looms, and we call it what? Manufacturing. Really? We probably should have called it machine factoring. Right? And that moves us to the next scale. Then we moved to robot factoring. Now we do 3D. It's quite amazing. I do giant factories, and I just saw a factory in South Carolina, 60,000 square feet, textiles. 2 people. Robots. 2 people. Amazing. And then now we're worried about the machine learning. So now we've got machines teaching machines how to do stuff. And what are they teaching them? What are they talking about? You know, what's the plan here? So I think it's time to come back to the hand and understand what we do, what we make, and articulate very carefully what it is we want from this. And I think it means going back to that basic thing. Is what is the fabric of life itself?